I was never into boy bands. I've noticed. How can I say? Like I've noticed a lot of kids nowadays. So far, like the K-pop stuff is going on. And there's a lot of boy bands within that genre and so forth. And I'm looking back and I'm like, I was never into the boy band genre. Hell, I wasn't even into the male singers genre, whatever you call it. I was never into the boy groups. I was never into groups like the Jonas Brothers and One Direction, The Wanted. I wasn't even into NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, not even New Kids on the Block, Big Time Rush, I was never into them. Hell, I wasn't even into 98 Degrees with Nick Lachey, not into that band. Menudo, I wasn't even into Menudo. My mom was, you know, my mom was, and she grew up with it. She still has the tapes, Yeah, I've heard it here and there, but I wasn't into them, Uh, who else, Can't even think of. In the K-pop, I wasn't even into the K-pop bands either. I wasn't into Big Bang or GOT7, BTS. I wasn't into them. FCAS, yeah, I listened to their songs, but I wasn't like, I gotta go to that concert, buy the merchandise, buy the CDs. I was never like that. Who else? I wasn't into them. I wasn't even, like I said, into the male solo artists. I wasn't into, Jesse McCarthy and Charlie Puth, Cody Simpson, Shawn Mendes, Justin Timberlake. I wasn't into that. Austin Mahone, Justin Bieber. Oh my God, I wasn't even into him at all. These guys I wasn't into. I mean, the bands that I was into, that I grew up with, that I listened to, hell, I even own, their CDs, and to this day I listen to. I listen to bands like Papa Roach and Blink 182, Simple Plan, Coldplay, Sum 41, Jimmy Eat World, Green Day, Skillet, Evanescence, Busted, I listened to The Killers and 3 Days Grace, Three Doors Down, Hollywood Undead, yeah, my mom would be like, oh my God, why do you listen to that? Yeah, I listened to them. I grew up with them. The same thing with Breaking Benjamin. I grew up with Breaking Benjamin, 30 Seconds to Mars, Linkin Park. My gosh, like all these cool bands. Who else? Who else? AFI, Fallout Boy, Jumpsuit Apparatus, Stabbing Weston. I grew up with them. Oh my gosh. All American Rejects, Shinedown. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Rise Against, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, I grew up with My Chemical Romance. All these bands, like I grew up with all these people. Dang, I still listen to them this day. I've never even been to a concert. I've been to none of their concerts. Muse, like I grew up with Muse. Like hell, yeah, I grew up with Muse. Good Charlotte, that was a good band. Jeez. What else? What else? I think that's all I can think of, Oh man. Like such good bands, things like that. Good Charlotte. Good Charlotte's no longer together, You don't really hear much from Simple Plan. Or maybe you do, just I don't know. But yeah, those are the bands I grew up with. I grew up more with My Chemical Romance than I did with New Kids on the Block. I grew up more with freaking Linkin Park than I did with Daggone NSYNC. You know what? Those are the brands that I like. I listened to more of Evanescence than I did the Jonas Brothers. You know, those were the ones I grew up with that I listened to. Yeah, okay, maybe I listened to a song from One Direction. Maybe I listened to a song from the Jonas Brothers and the Wanted. Yes, but again, I didn't buy their CDs. I didn't buy their merchandise. I bought more stuff from My Chemical Romance and Linkin Park than I did with freaking, BTS, Those are the bands that I grew up with. Those are the bands I still have listened to. I still to this day listen to, I still listen to the Killers. The Killers are still out and about. Same thing with Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy is still out and about. Jeez, My Chemical Romance just came back. I don't know how long they're gonna be back, but yeah, they came back. Muse is still on. Golly, Muse is still out and about too. Coldplay is. Green Day is still high. It's just Papa Roach is still around. I know that, but yeah, those are the bands that I grew up with. Heck, I guess you could say I'm that grunge and emo goth rocker sort of rebellious, get out of my way, say goodbye to silent tyranny, undisclosed desire kind of girl, rock on. Yeah. I'm rocking out. Rock out, guys. Rock out.